The last time Gentlemate played Bayern was in off-season, and we had Martina on the Euro and people on the Race, as you were asking. There wasn't a race on Pearl, but maybe there's going to be one.
Well, that is a waylay.
Yeah.
So there's not going to be there's not going to be the race. There is going to be West Side on the stage. You wanted this.
But it's another off-season comp.
Exactly. This is my point. We also, how a team like KC struggled not changing anything from that player blender or the other off-season tournaments, coming into the season and being like, oh, we tested this already. We played it in an official. It was good. Why would you change it? Well, you would, because people prepare. And actually, if you do not change anything and they only have one adjustment and prepared, they will use it.
Yeah, and also Flickler's moving on to the Viper. I think he's just going to be fine. He's an exceptional KO player. He's going to be fine here. But the lack of changes, you know, when people can just prep your old stuff against you is worrying. It is for me. But I don't want to be a Debbie Downer just yet before we actually see it. Maybe on the server there's new ideas.
Yeah, but I'm wondering also why. I mean, it's not pretty much of a wonder. I know why, but the Viper is just mandatory on Bayern, right? Especially in EMEA. So I'm wondering who's going to diff who, because we're not going to see Pickless on the initiating role on this map, but rather on the Viper.
To me,
you buy it?
To me, after what we saw today, the player I want to see step up is Cloud. Because I think that's sociable, gave a masterclass with Gurbinho and the performance that he's already shown. That is who I want to see showing up.
I will say, though, on the other side, Astra again. Maybe he's gunning for that title.
He listened to me. He was walking onto stage and he was like, you want it? You'll have it. No, he just loves it.
And I love it. I love it. I really do. Wasteland, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah?
That would be yes.
Yeah, if Gentlemates is bringing it, I am buying it.
Oh, well, if they bring it again, they're going to be 2-0. Back-to-back wins. Mini used to pray for times like this. Pansy and Hypog, let's see how they get on the server.
Yeah, let's see. Pansy?
Pansy.
Hi, Buck.
You gotta come back. I think you guys went home already.
I think they did. We haven't had a single tech issue, actually.
Damn, Pansy's hair's looking rough.
That's tough. Well, look, I hope we'll do for you, Yinsu. I'll try my best. I'll do a British accent. Shall I? No, I won't. Okay, so mates versus GX.
And I'll do a British accent as well.
Yes, you're doing great already, Tom. I won't try. I'd embarrass myself in front of you, Tom, and I'd never do that. It's time to get into this matchup. We're talking about mates and GX. We've seen the first map, and it delivered 13-10, but it was Gentlemates to take the dub. And now it's time to get into the second map. This one chosen by GX, and this is where they need to bounce back and take us all the way to 3. Let's see how it goes. Flickless on the Viper, Tom. I mean, what's your take on that? I'm a Flickless fan all the way, but
I prefer him on initiate. Wow. Okay. Well, Martin has just been absolutely cooked within the first few seconds of the round. That's not a bad start for Cloud. Over onto the Sky. Sage. Something I've enjoyed seeing, I'll be honest. I'm on Mini in a prime position. It's something they've got to check, and they are trying to check. But maybe just a little bit too late. The trades back and forth leave us even once again. And there is that Seize. It always seems to land. The Starzo has a heat-seeking Seize, it seems. Oh, that's a sentence you can't say quickly too many times.
Watch me. No, I won't try. Spike planted, the wall soon to break, and I think there is value for mates in just waiting. The chance of one of them having pushed A and wrapped around. Now as the wall breaks, having to worry about elbow. They're just putting question marks in the minds of the GX players, but these players seem cyber-focused, and now both players, I believe, on the mate side have been spotted. All the info there to work with. Big swing from 2, and it's West Side to triple down in the first round. We saw a flying stat there about his headshot percentage. I think it was 44% last year. Yeah, pretty good already, but there's a few more to add to the tally.
It's also good because he's not one of those players where it's like, they would just bottom frag in every game, but they had some headshots. He was actually one of the better players for this squad. Let's go! And that's what kicked this one off with a bang, fired up. We saw some of the replays of both teams shouting across against each other, maybe a bit of a grudge match, I'm sure. I feel like Starzo is one of the players that has always managed to rile up opponents to get them shouted as well. It's something I've genuinely missed a lot. I still remember him doing his aerobics exercises in tactical pauses all the way back at some of the early events.
I dropped the spike.
I enjoyed it so much, I even casted one of those games twice.
Yes, you did. I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Set that one out. Watched from home, had a great time, I have to say. Still can't believe you said what you said, Tom, but 1-0 for GX. It should be an easy conversion here, but look at the numbers that mates have managed to get into position. This could get a little bit dicey, a little bit
They spin it by everything.
Martin's got the first. Can there be more, though? Damage, the name of the game, but GX have come in with 2 pistols. Margin for error is high. Already one has recovered a rifle, and Westside standing close by. Mates need to make this a bloodbath for it to be costly. Gonna come down close to winning the round, and winning the fight against Flickless seemed possible. And although Glyph takes down Westside, it is just the 2 pistols lost. So for GX, nothing lost, something gained in the form of a round 2-0 start here on Bind. It's exactly what they need.
I might change my thought process. Maybe Starzo doesn't have magnetic utility. Maybe Aura is magnetic to utility.
That could very
because
well
I feel like his game so far, like people maybe like the stats Andes will look at the last map and go, wow, he didn't play very well. It's like, no, he just got wrecked by every single piece of utility, bad timing. Like
I think it was mainly defensive side as well. Normally on the attack, like you'd see the duelist was diving and taking the space. No, he was just getting so unlucky in every fight.
Yeah.
And then they avoided him in the times when he had the upper hand had they come his way. So it was.
And then that was, I think he got hit by 4 pieces of utility before he died. It's like, yeah,
it's rare for me
what
to
am
see
I
like
meant to do?
Neon 7 and 15 and not, you know, roast them immediately, regardless of if it's ranked.
Don't worry,
right
someone will do it for you.
Someone will, for sure. But I don't think it's warranted in the case of Ara. Genuinely feel like he had an unlucky map in the previous, nothing went his way, and that does just happen sometimes. You can't see that twice in a row, though. And he's coming in here with a little bit of pressure on his shoulders to deliver. Nice stuff by Westside to find one up close. A bit more needed, but the time is ticking now, and it's mates with the pressure to get in there. The shorty's out for Ara. Confidence builder, perhaps. Just in the nick of time. Glyph alone, 1 versus 3 after his first pickup.
No time.
And he doesn't have a snowball's chance. GX up to 3.
Yeah, nice bonus round from them. I like as well just how that wall is being utilized just to create a little bit of pocket space for Westside to play around. Because with that guy jiggle peeking and just swinging you in awkward fights, like, as we've sort of mentioned multiple times, he's pretty good at hitting headshots and just made that really awkward. Like, you could even see players trying to wrap around on him, but because of that pocket he's created, it definitely made it uncomfortable. And with some weaker weapons in play, managing to get that over the line, it's another fantastic start. Now, we've got to not get too far ahead of ourselves because they had a 4-0 start on the last map. And they didn't win that one. It very quickly came back in Mates' favor. I do think, though, that Mates have shown that, especially on the attack side, I think that's where they've really been thriving. I think they've been brilliant in the way that we've seen the calling and the lurks and positioning across the map. I want to see if they've got that same resilience when it comes to the defensive side of their opponent's map choice.
I definitely do expect, though, on the attack for them to continue that momentum with the double dive. Like, you think about Martin and Bippo firing themselves into those sites. It's not going to be very easy to deal with. GX need that little bit of a leg up going into the next half. It's going to be a very, very slow move from GX, and it's understandable. Yeah, you're up against these pistols at the moment. Deep rotation through the spawn just to avoid any aggression that might have come through. Avoid those nooks and crannies. Take these really long-range fights. They've chosen the site that, for now at least, has the least amount of players, but they need to be quick or they're going to have a lot to deal with when they burst through to that site. Fates are already here.
I think the C slowed them down a little bit. The reveal up top and the one rifle that was given to Martin at the beginning of the round has already managed to find a target. There's Grubinho, though, and Glyph does manage to get one. Time's starting to tick, and in fact, for safety, they're going to utilize that res. It might not be needed, but with Mini now, that rifle in hand, he's still got an opportunity to try and take this one home, but he's not going to manage to connect. Flickless will convert that 4-0. A little bit closer than they may have liked, but GX, they've got the credits to spare. They won't mind too much.
Oh, without a doubt. They can take a couple hits here or there to the economy and still be sitting pretty when push comes to shove. And you look at Rubinho walking out through long there, taking that double, immediately dove on it. To be honest, I think very lucky to still have Westside alive to pop that res. He's being targeted from sight.
Good job.
He was lit up and just a shot or two away from a completely different result, but Mates denied that win. Buy right back up here. Dimensional Drift online for Martin early on. And nobody's going to be spotted towards the A site with Seekers immediately on B. That's going to get the TP from Martin. He's now on site ready to help out.
Yeah, immediate use of the ult is definitely rare, but with how fast they're going, a re-swing. They didn't start off great, the edge of the wall. Do they know? They know. They know Stars is in this corner. This is one of the weirdest positions for a defender to be in, and one that GX have dealt with. Not too many problems at all. The timing for Mini does work out. Him versus Westside is a battle of the headshot machines, and neither of them comes out on top. It's Grabinho to put down Bippo, and while Mini's got so many angles to check, somehow still standing after crossing past the angle. The first shot is magnificent. One more needed, and he'll take it home. I don't know how he's managed to come out of that one alive, but he's for sure giving it once he did.
Unreal work from Mini. See him in that 1v2. You think a Red Bull clutch is never far away. And so needed when we've seen these consistent hits towards the B site now. Flood out with the Sage Wall on left. It's worked. And there was an attempt here to get ahead of it, leaving Stars to play up close. He even got on top of the wall for a moment. But then a build having to rely on a clutch, never ideal. But if the man in that clutch is Mini, well, you've always got a chance.
They've just added another lock to the jail that they've put him in. You're not going anywhere, son. Well, that was impressive stuff. Again, 4-0, they break back, but is this going to be a different story? Martin has just dealt with Ara immediately. Bit of an off angle for Bippo. He's yet to get on the board, but it's one you'd almost expect to check, and Flickless had eyes on it. They now look to try and pressure this side of the map.
Oh, Bippo was walking very close to the edge of that smoke. Speaking of which, around that orb, there was a gap. Flickless drops Mini with it, but Martin running dry on ammo puts numbers back to even. Cloud, tag very low, but so too is Bippo. I mean, we're about neck and neck. The only thing playing against GX here is this very late flank from Glyph. It's being watched right now by Grabinho, but for how long? He's moving towards the site. He's got a smoke still and an orbital strike. He wants to be putting utility down, and that's exactly what he's doing. The timing here will be everything, and he makes it around the corner at least. But with a player peeking into bathroom in the form of Bippo, Glyph knows that they're not coming in there. He's going to walk his way up behind on mid, and as this big crunch comes in on site, if they can just hold on, they've got a man coming in those back lines to completely turn the tide in their favor. Glyph finds one, but the Viper's pit. Well, this has put the shoe on the other foot. Now Flickless stands with an advantage, but the defuse could be going in right under his nose. He steps forward and catches Bippo. The defender remains killless as GX push further into the lead.
Flickless has been excellent so far, especially in the late round scenarios. There's been a couple that I felt like easily could have gone in the other direction if not for his quick thinking. Even the snakebite we saw a couple of rounds ago sort of saved them. And this was just quick reactions, especially with how low he was already. 5-1, a different story already from the last map, and one that is definitely going to bite back at mates. I think that's one that has a little bit of frustration. A real opportunity for Glyph on that flank, but probably didn't get anywhere near as much as he would have liked.
5-1 down. At this stage, you look back at the rounds, you think you only got the one for mates. It's no surprise that they are going to take themselves a moment, a breather, especially with the squad they're up against.
But this is the interesting thing with GX. We've seen them a couple of times. They've made it to champs. They've been a squad that has, towards the end of the year, peaked incredibly highly. In terms of early tournament success, obviously you had the first kickoff, which was actually all the way over in Sao Paulo and was its own thing of lock-in. But since then, it really hasn't been success at the beginning of the year, even when they've stuck with a roster, whether they've made massive changes. And they'll be looking to try and change that tide here for a better look, especially, as said, they come in with no changes to the beginning of the year. The expectations are that you should hit the ground running.
Flying start for the attackers. And after the pause, what is the change up? It is pistols for mate, so let's not set our expectations too high. 4 players early to B. TP taken on that A site. Quick rotation as well. They know where the hit's coming in, but with these pistols, even with the numbers, it can be hard to do anything. Bookie's already been forced back into a pretty long-range angle, tagged up as well by the nade, and then, well, good night and sweet dreams. We're down to the pistols yet again.
Even though the rest of them are going through, just look at the position of Crepidio on the other side of the map. He's waiting in case anybody tries to lurk. They know their back is completely safe at this stage. The rest of the players going to home in on the angle. That's going to make it incredibly difficult. Arrow within the... Oh! I'm telling you, he's cursed. He's been jumping buckied by Starzo. It doesn't get much worse than that, although maybe it does. 2 quick kills. There is Westside. His cheeky position. And even better with the aim. That's 6-1 on the board. And, well, he's getting ever closer to having that res online again.
He's so good, man. It's ridiculous. I take back what I said. No, don't give him the Sheriff. He needs that fire rate. Still hits the headshots every time. Yeah, Ara,
do we need that many replays of it?
I really feel like Ara must have been rude to someone. Like Karma's coming to get it today.
Guys?
What is happening? A 6-1 scoreline, a dominant display from GX, a team who went 4-0 up rather in the previous map, and then it ended up as a pretty tight game. Here though, they're not relinquishing that lead. Up to 5 at this stage. They set their sights on B. Already a Nightfall's going to be put into play, yet amongst the chaos, Glyph's gone down. Was that a spam through the wall?
Oh, Mini's moved into the corner. First one's easy. Second one might be tougher if he dies. It's the res, but no, he's taken Westside down. Giving them an opportunity. Okay, showstopper just used to defend, and oh, just about. Bibbo's going to survive. Martin then gets the trade back. Nothing going for Ara. This is where the post block could get nasty. This time, though, Starzo does catch the timing and leaves Card alone. Every position, work it out, and well, I don't think that's going to stop them defusing. I think they've just about, it's going to come right down to the wire, the timing here. So much so that neither of them got it on immediately.
We're all panicking here.
Oh, they're going to get it.
Oh no, he's come off it. He'll never have time. Somehow.
Damn, only almost 10 seconds.
6-2. A 4-round gap now to play with. Big one for Mates, though. Seeing Bippo fire off like that, surviving on the site from the showstopper. Cool. And it was, yeah, straight through the wall. Of course, Seeker is giving him a little bit of a hint on where that fight should be taken, but just shoot right that way.
Maybe that was it. That was it from Ara. He's used the monkey paw.
Yeah.
The finger's gone down. He's gone, I want to win our map choice dominantly. But he didn't say that he wanted himself to play well. So that's the curse. That's what comes with it.
Yeah, I maybe Bippo said the same thing. He's been having a tough old start.
What did he wish for? I guess their map. But it wasn't that dominant.
Yeah, I think that was his first kill there, 1-7. Survived the showstopper in the previous, though. How much longer are you going to be able to keep him down? We've certainly seen a high ceiling from him in some of the games so far. Glyph forced back. Gravwell will deny any further advantage. No, that's full commitment from Martin. He can gate crash out, so it's not the end of the world, but in goes the conversion path. Walled off is Bippo. He has a choice now, and he makes the right one, refracting back and bailing out. Those double duelists having the ability to TP. It makes all the difference.
I think that's the third ult we've seen in the last 2 rounds that has ultimately done absolutely nothing.
They just got walled off.
They've been sectioned out. Fleckless again. That man spent the whole offseason just hitting the aim trainer. He was good before. He's disgusting now. Martin, though, well, they needed a hero. It would have had to be a miracle, and unfortunately this one, it wasn't performed. It will be a 7th round for GX, unless Bippo is going to go for the 1v3 with 29 HP. And guessing from his position, he's not going to do that.
I don't know what's giving you that impression, Tom, but I'll go with you on this one. For Bippo, the save, and right back to winning ways for GX. Map 3, not on the horizon just yet, but it is starting to inch closer, as that lead cannot be closed in on. But again, we did talk about this, you know, when you think about Mates on the attack side, not even just talking about their composition, but the team in general, it's where they've really been doing their best work. And so the question that I don't think anyone has a definitive answer to is, how many do they need? Every little's going to help. I'm moving into that next half. But for now, nothing but GX victories on the board.
The worry as well, though, is if you look at the composition that's being run by GX, and it is a very disruptive comp when you're trying to play up against it on the defense. Like, you've got the smokes, you've got the Viper, you've got the info from Cloud on the Sky, and then you've got the Sage Wall that's just going to be annoying. So I do worry that GX might already be in a good enough position for themselves going into the defense, and I almost think that Mates might need to try and run this all the way back to a 7-5 if we're going to see a competitive second map.
So this is the line in the sand that you're going to draw, Tom.
Yeah,
from here on out.
It's not been particularly close. Like the last map was very back and forth, and this has felt like blips in a story that's all GX sided.
Oh, I agree with you there. I do think, you know, for Mates, pistol rounds, if they go 8-4, it's going to have a lot of weight. You can put it down to a coin flip at that stage. So yeah, I can see why your line is drawn here, Tom.
Your line is one off my line.
No, I wasn't saying 8-4 is my goal. I think it is probably 7-5 as well, roundabout there. Because again, otherwise it goes down to like, do you win the pistol? If you don't, it's a
and
huge
when you're
task.
up against Grabidio and the West Side especially, you can't really bank on that. Bippo looking for some spams. He shoots and immediately dies. Martin has got one back with the trades.
Kill my ally.
Trades with Rez as well.
Well, yeah, and Rez. That's the problem when West Side's getting so many kills. The only problem with the deaths is it's going to make Ara's stat line even worse, as he's always the one that's being brought back. It's going to be like he's died more times than there were rounds.
He's not quite there, but he's pretty close at this stage.
This is it. Like, I will say, the fact that there's still players on the mate side spamming after everybody has been domed the second they did that, it's a little bold.
I mean, it is just one of those scenarios where you've got to go all in at some point. You got to take every chance just to see if you can fight your way back through, and every chance taken, it all went GX's way.
Everyone going all in with a losing hand, it felt.
Yeah, exactly. 2s and 3s, and I think at this stage, in zone, probably the most frustrated with that. Everybody's alive at the end of the round, but they don't get their flawless, because of course the res had to be used to pull them back into that. But I think we can look past that technicality and say that it was, in spirit, a flawless round from
I
GX.
think I might
so
be the
many
best Sage in this game.
Best Sage in this game, very well may be. Most modest as well.
Has he watched Jing play?
But this is the thing, man. I think for GX at the moment, it's night and day to the previous map. It looks like there's nothing they can do wrong. Even in that opening fight, what, 2-3 rounds now, Flickless has been able, or West Side, to just spam someone straight through a smoke. Cloud as well when he popped the ult. Actually, I feel like there's been a lot of rounds where mates have just been a player down because of something that's kind of out of their control. But that said, GX then have been playing, I think, better as well on a round-to-round basis. When the look doesn't go their way, nice start from Starzo, but it's going to be tough to find a pretty end to this one.
Yeah, it's an awkward position from Glyph. Does he get anything? There's one. Needs a little bit more, but no, again. Just keeping things level. Through they go. Really nice flash. Problem is, Bippo's have to duck out of there, and there's Grubinho to save the day once again. A superstar within this GX roster. And now Bippo, he's got to increase his kill tally by quite a bit to make this one work. And if he swings, there's going to be a couple more. He's aware of it. Smart stuff. That's already his kill tally doubled. Can he make a triple? No. That's a safe pair of hands, 9 and 2. A very different looking back to the last one. A chess game that instead, it feels a bit more like Kaplunk. Everything's falling apart for mates.
Yeah, I think one team might be closer to flipping the table than the other. For that defensive side, 2 on the board, 1 here or there. A clutch for Mini that put the first up. It's not been a lot to look back on with promise, with hope. We said that second half, everything could change. Double dive duelists. Bippo can feel a bit more comfortable taking the tip of the spear alongside Martin, the flood of utility. It could look fantastic, but if you've only got 2 or 3 rounds to play with, which is, you know, I hate to break it to you, the maximum mates are walking out with is 3. Your margin for error is going to be very, very thin. GX building a lot of confidence up in this round, or in this map so far, man. He's going to run every ult in the book after him, and he'll be caught on the way out. The disadvantage brought back by Starzo, however.
Yeah. Seeker eventually will tell them he's there, but it's a little bit too late. Aggressive position. Glyph versus Ara. It could end up deciding the round. It's the angle check properly, but Ara's going to win it out. Leave Starzo with everything to do. And just look at the positions of both players. One in heaven, one back towards the showers. How do you clear both of these players? And the worst thing is he doesn't even know where any of them are. Ara could have easily gone back in towards the lamps, made it impossible to get in behind, and he's just having to check absolutely everything. Looking at the plant maybe gives the game away slightly, but neither of them are falling for the tropes, falling for the traps. It is perfectly played by both of them, and eventually, sure, he'll get a kill or two, but it's irrelevant at this stage. Even just messing about a little bit, sure, Arrow will fall, but it is meaningless. 10 rounds for GX. What a half they've just had.
Yeah, it was 10 rounds for GX in the previous map, but they managed it in the first half here on Vine. Phenomenal work. And now it's time to send it over to Lou, who's standing by with Flickless's mum.
One enemy
Thank you, Tom and Mitch. And what would be a VCT game without some proud parents and families supporting in the crowd? Wendy, Flickless mom, just join me. Welcome to Berlin, first of all. Wendy, it's a pleasure to have you here. And first of all, we know how hard it is for parents, to let it go, to let their child, live their dream and commit to esports. So can you tell us how that road was at the beginning and what made you eventually change your mind and believe in stream?
At the beginning, it was a real nightmare for every parent, I guess. But it began already when he was little, 6-year-old, with the portable PlayStation of his elder brothers. And his father bought him some games to play. But when he was about 12, I guess, he was always at the computer playing games and everything. And I even drove to my work with parts of his computer in my car.
For him not to play, you took your computer to work so he wouldn't play?
For him not to play, to pass his exams.
But now, why do you believe in him now?
Well, it's because of his oldest brother. He talked to us, to my husband and I, and he told us that he played already the whole time, and that he was already very good.
He's very good indeed.
Then we have had the chance to look at him, and so...
and here you are, right?
His biggest fans.
And you are his biggest fans indeed. A round of applause, of course, for Wendy. And your son has been doing amazing on stage, so I was just wondering, do you have any tips for the stressed parents watching their kids play Valorant?
I'm very stressed. When we are at home, my friends are watching the game, my other kids watching the game, and I'm in my kitchen and I cook everything. I make chicken nuggets and everything to give to the friends to eat, and I hear them shouting, so I know it's good or not good.
So you're just listening, right? You're not watching in order to not be stressed. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Wendy. Let's see if GNX can take the win on this second match. Back to you, Tom and Mitch.
Well, I'm just hoping there's some of those chicken nuggets at the after party here today.
That's a dub mom right there. They're making chicken nuggets for the friends to watch Flickless play. Double older brother as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if one of my siblings would be convinced by parents that you should let him play video games more. They're like, no, get him away.
Well, I'll tell you what, chicken nuggets, I'm sure it's fun to watch Flickless play with, but I feel like having some popcorn because the guy looks like he's in an action movie a lot of the time out there. John Wick on the server, GX 10 on the board, double digits in the first half. I mean, night and day compared to
How
map
much do you
number
believe
1.
in that attack side now?
Yeah, you said 7-5, but Tom, I knew 10-2.
Okay.
That's what mates needed. 2 rounds, it's enough. They can easily
When
take
you're
this.
right,
Another 13-10, here it comes.
Oh, it's going to have to be this pistol round goal in their way. And well, Martin has managed to get the better of Flickless at least. That is a danger man gone early. I'm still looking at the position of Westside, just clearing everything behind them. This position from Starzo as well. It's just the rattiest of spots. And they're going to go back the other way. You've got one man on one side and the rest of the team on the other. And Starzo's like, no, lads, follow me. We're going into the B site. Now Westside's position is completely null and void. And they have the B site for free.
Another one tap from Starzo as we go to a 4v2. GX now looking like they're going to give mates at least a foot in the door, but still something to be said about this with Gravino on backside. West side doesn't land the headshots when it matters here in the pistol. So Gravino, an ace needed. What a performance he's had so far. Some big rounds in that first half, but this one would certainly take the cake. There it is for 3. 40 HP though. Nice try. But 3 rounds on the board for Gentlemates at long last.
I'm not gonna lie, after he got the first one, I believed he was gonna do it. Like, just with how good he's been. His aim just seems to have hit another level since joining this
Thanks, Andy.
GX squad. And oh,
One enemy remaining.
that is the lifeline. A long, long way to go before we can start talking about any real danger for GX on their map choice. And I'll be honest, with how this series has gone, I'm happy to see Split on the horizon. For Bippo, though, that's rough. Like, he has been having a bad game, especially for what we've seen from him so far. There's a freebie, at least, with, I would say, a little bit of help from his friends, but that is 3 assists that have come off the back of that one.
Oh, it's a risky play to go through that smoke. Flash is good. Bippo keeps on going, though, and the confidence is there up against the eco. But, you know, you got to start somewhere. Mates look for their 4th. The question of damage is going to be a difficult one for GX to have any sort of meaningful answer to. Mini on the pistol gives that extra margin for error. Ara's already taking a bit of, oh, it's the decay, in fact. It's not damage. He's right back up to 100, so there's that.
But just look at them. They're feeling out the other side of the map, though. Just look how far Martin has gone. And with Starzo going down, I wonder if the question starts to begin of like, okay, are we going to now go back in the other direction? Doesn't seem like it, though. They look fairly committed. Ara pushing up might even sell them the wrong idea. Like, with somebody looking that far, it might have been an attempt to camel the other way, but now they've spotted out the second player for Bippo, making things a lot easier for the squad in this one.
Just stolen what could perhaps have been Bippo's ace, but fair enough. I think the win's a win at this point. Ara 65, Spectre miles away. That got really dangerous for a second there. I mean, they were in a default, 2 players towards A, 1 holding short, 1 holding bath. 3 guys creeping up long, and Starzo just walks out against the Classic. I've not seen goal like that for a while, but as much as he was punished, it doesn't seem like that's going to come back to haunt Mates. Aaron, I like what he's doing, just trying to play the exit. To be honest, if he's patient enough, he might get the chance for 1.
Yeah, they're looking... Yeah, the thing is...
Especially Bippo.
They look towards the spawn, and because they haven't heard anything, I was wondering if maybe they'd go in that direction. But no, they are going to walk this way. I assume they'll go left towards Glyph in a position that's already clear, rather than going back. And the stun's really nice. They were just guessing where that last player could be, and they are waiting and watching. Well read from Mates, because that easily could have been a far more costly round.
And I think in these rounds especially, it's very important. Like, when you're already trailing, you can't give away the advantages that you have, that you've gained in those early fights, especially against an eco. And I think I like this. We're seeing Mates completely locked in. They know that they're miles behind. They know that this map, it's not lost. 6-round gap. We've seen way crazier things happen, especially here in EMEA. But they know that they've got to play it round by round. They've got to lock in this moment. And even just to close that scoreline in, if they do end up on split, as I said, all hope not lost yet. It'll be an A play from the Gentlemates. They've already taken a lot of control. This is going to be a very quick hit indeed. Oh, no! Bippo! 8 HP! And Flickless is still alive. That's a crime.
He's lucky to still be standing. Turbino in the corner. Flash again. Perfect from Martin, and another now dropping. In fact, they're all falling like flies. West side, always good for 1, but with the credits that they have, do they consider going for this? Of course, up against the bonus, maybe think that there'll be a vulnerability or 2, or if somebody gives them a favorable fight, they'll take it and run with it. But Cloud's fully committed. Back in towards the lamps he goes, and Mini's not missing that from there. Leaves West side versus the lot, and as the wall goes down, all 3 are waiting for him. That is a much-needed bonus round victory for Mates, and maybe the start of what is the comeback now. Because I'll be honest, pistol and follow-up didn't mean a lot to me.
No, that is very fair, Tom. I'll give you that. This third definitely changes things, especially when they lose opening pick. When you see Bippo dive in and leave a guy on 8 HP, get worried. The rotate's underway, but very nicely dealt with, and I think a lot of that goes down to Mini.
Boys, take guns, take guns, take guns.
Taking the really important fights towards lamps. We come in here, 10-5. The gap closing. The pistols in for GX. What looked like a map that they'd made a meal of now looks like a bite-sized dish. Maybe an entree to start at least here.
Outlaw in play for Martin, of course. One shot to anybody that dares face him. Well, we'll lock down some control. Now at least mates are happy to feel out the map. They've been, well, from the couple of matches we've seen, very happy to just play things nice and slow. And they make their decision later into the round, almost wait for their opponents to use up that utility, make mistakes. That's exactly what they're doing for now. I will say that for a team that has said that's brand new in terms of every single piece other than Mini, the synergy this squad looks to have already as a base, very, very good.
Yeah, I mean, the one player you're keeping as well, changing role completely. So even in terms of his individual comfort in this year, new teammates, new role, everything is different. Like
30 seconds left.
Said, this is a squad we can see doing damage in the future, but it looks like they're here for the here and now. TP taking towards the B side.
Seconds.
Decoy's already gone into B. They need these picks, and that's huge. Martin finding them on the pistols. When you're up against time and they've got the numbers, it can be disastrous, but Martin has dealt with every
10
danger
seconds left.
and left them with an easy plan. He keeps on going. A 4K runaway Mini. That's Martin's kill. They're swapping weapons. They're giving it to him. Good teammates as the shorty will get him the 5th. Martin! An ace down on that stage as the comeback continues. That'll certainly help the climb back.
I like that he points at Mini, because he knows that Mini could have taken that kill if he really wanted to.
It's a good teammate. That's a real leader right there, even if he isn't IGL.
Who cares about odds when you can get confidence?
Yes, yes.
10-6. They leave it late, but they never seem to crumble under that pressure as well. Martin's lurking sniper rifle into the B site.
Reverse gentlemates from last year.
Yeah, exactly.
We're slow to start, but then we close it.
Yeah. I don't think anybody ever said, like, wow, what a great comeback from Gentlemates. But we'll see.
What a great comeback from whoever's
It's funny as well,
them.
because they had a player with that name.
Next? Yeah, he didn't have much of a comeback today either. Well, 10-6. Mates starting to drum up some support, some hope at last. Martin in there on the but he'll be caught by Flickless. The trade, at least, will be found. Bippo low, but Starzo is clean. He ran the house. He has completely swept them and left Cloud on west side without a clue as to what just went wrong. That's Andy, I'm gonna have to use you here, man. Show me what Starzo just got up to.
Literally, it was the Nightfall. He put the Nightfall and it just went, they can't hear me, I'm just going to sprint. Everybody else is focused on the rest of my players, that I can just have that as a distraction. And he was right. That's fair play to him. And after the remaining two, getting back in is just impossible. Cloud alone. Starzo just looking to join up with the rest of his team. Doesn't have any interest in over-facing here. Again, almost just being that distraction so the others can find the kill, and that's exactly what happens. Mini closes the round, but again, it's another set play that just has layers to it. Like, you look at the start and you go, okay, this is utility setup for Martin to get the kills. And in reality, it really wasn't. It was set up so that Bippo could get in behind, and then Starzo could go in even further. Like, Starzo was layer 3. The first being Martin, the second being Bippo, then the third just him full sprinting while players can't move.
And a timeout from GX. Not only seeing that lead slip now, one that, well, Tom, yeah, you made a joke, but I was right there with you, to be honest, like 10-2. The map's already over, surely.
Yeah.
And yet here we are, a climb back for Mates. And again, not a climb back where it's clutches, where it's close rounds, and we go, well, this could be over already. In fact, it could be a lot closer to being over in favor of Mates if they showed up in that first half. This is now getting concerning. And with that timeout from GX, you can see it's certainly getting to them.
Yeah, and I think as well, like, even with everything changing coming into this year, it's still difficult when you come into a squad that has the stigma of choking games. Like, we have seen that transcend a roster and move with an org.
With a logo,
yeah. Yeah, sorry, Liquid. There have been moments that you kind of go like, oh, is that going to be the fate that they suffer? But this team's mental resilience seems so strong to come into a half 10-2 and play like oh, well, play like no one's watching, play like nothing is wrong at all. And, well, they are looking like they are back in this game already, which for GX is a massive wake-up call that you've now lost 5 rounds in a row, and not just rounds where, oh, okay, we had pistols, or they won the second round, or they got a little bit lucky. Like, those last couple were just well-executed rounds.
Gap of 3 and pistols in play. Ults, though, will start to build up for GX at least. 2 away is the most that they're dealing with on this defensive side. So the next buy round will have a lot of power behind it. But, I mean, take a look at the credits on Gentlemate's side. They can afford to lose around an ult dump, still fight right back, set themselves up in a really good position. And it's GX that now, despite being 3 ahead, they're the ones that have to climb back in terms of the momentum. Great flash, but the weaponry's not quite there to make it work, and Glyph is quick to punish Cloud. With arrow low as well, the pistols across the board. Looks like mates have done the hard work already.
Yeah, still plenty of time left for them to play with, so no real need to rush into things, and that gives Martin time. And I've enjoyed seeing Martin as this secondary duelist, because a lot of the time it's just them giving him space. Like, let him go walkabouts, let him find gaps, let him look for space. Amostazo once again working as that distraction. Bippo even going through teammates' utility just to catch the vulnerable players. This time, his shorty does do the work. And while with only Westside standing, all he can really hope for here is to stop this being flawless, because just look at the credits. Even if he kills 3, maybe even 4 here, it means nothing to the amount of credits that mates have.
Yeah, it would perhaps have a butterfly effect in a later round, but that's the most you can hope for. Yeah. You'd have to have a 5-op buy coming out or something to really mess him up. Westside. About to be crapped up on from behind.
Does he go for the knife? Does he go? No, he doesn't.
1 extra orb as well. That's
He's nicer than me.
It's an
nicer than C-Day.
It is an important kill, though, as well, for an in-zone flawless going onto the Astro. 1 away from a Cosmic Divide now to work with. There's a couple ultis that we said for GX would be online. Orbital Strike, Res, and Seekers. It's quite a bit to work with there, with a Pit and a Showstopper in just 1. Potentially all 5 ults to be seen in the next round. But for mates, they have at least 2 to respond with. The convergence path, especially from Bippo, could disrupt whatever the A game is for GX. 10-8. I'm surprised that we're here. Although seeing mates perform very differently in the second half, I probably shouldn't be.
Well, no, it is leaning into what I said earlier, but to an almost extreme degree. Like, their attack sides have been fantastic, and it seems like the layers to each attack round is like they're adapting on the fly, but they also just have some very good set executes. Now, a switch up of sorts. A wall to give Westside an early fight, but yeah, the problem is with how slow mates have been, that wall might dissipate before he even gets the chance to fight.
Gone soon.
The timing here could be really rough if he falls, and instead he's going to be stuck on top of it. In fact, they're even ready for it as well. Martin's the one to get the opener. Orbital Strike could be nasty, but Martin's already gone. He was the one under threat, and Glyph has just domed him through the wall. It leaves them under pressure again. Showstopper ready, but the smoke fading gives Mini a chance. Being aggressive in their nature, and well, I don't think he's using the Showstopper here.
I would be surprised. And I think a large part of why mates are playing that round so slow is because they're up against 5 ultimates. They don't know what's coming around. If they take an early fight, but they don't actually capitalize on that control, i.e. if they're just playing for a bit of control on B, and they go back in the other direction for the plant, whatever, the res is going to come through, and it won't really matter. You're taking a big risk for not a lot of payoff. The slow approach here, let your opponent make the mistakes, and then go for one big burst play. Yeah. Give them as little opportunity as possible to put those ultis into effective use.
That's what I like about their post plant as well. Like, a lot of what they've been doing has been relatively passive in post. Like, you've had those early hits and then you just allow them to take the space. Like, maybe Starzo's baiting people into fights and then having crossfires. This time they didn't do that because, as you said, if they get the Sage Res, if they get the Showstopper set up with utility, that's a problem. So, okay, let's push them. Let's take fight. That's filthy, by the way. That was just a ridiculous spam to even attempt to go for, but I can't believe what I'm seeing. 7 rounds in a row.
From a team that had 2 in the first half, one of which was Mini winning a clutch.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, not that that's a crazy rare thing for Mini to win a clutch, but, you know, pretty rare for it to be pretty much the only thing you do in a half. And then for you to still be in the game. But here we are. It's a strange day. Last round, of course, Seekers and Orbital Strike put through from GX, so their ultimate economy is starting to wane, as is their credit economy, but, you know, the loss bonuses build up at this stage. For Mates, comfort, really, it seems like the game is in their hand at this moment. Viper's Pit to play off against, and it does look like they're moving towards it, but they have the utility from Starzo that's going to be looking to clear this out. Danger for Flick. It's going to be a TP. They're going to flash deep. TP on the back of that and look to punish Flickless. This could be crazy. It's a mad straw. It's a fake and a spam. Flickless and 4 HP. They're surrounding him and pushing him out of his own pit.
Yeah, the man that was left to defend him was taken out by Bippo over the top. And now the Viper's Pit, well, it comes back up, but it's on the other side. As you said, it's decent from Flickless to keep them standing, but now they've lost another to Mini, and all these players trying to get through. It's going to be awkward. Bippo on the corner, but he goes down. Maybe that showstopper can have effect after all. Straight through it goes, a chance to remove that pit, but looking for Mini, and he will find him. That's at least that gone. Glyph low, Starzo low. They're clearing them out one by one, and Glyph is all that remains. He's going to bait them out, but they don't know he's behind. Into the 1 versus 1. Ara trying to wrap around, needs to get on that spike. That time is ticking, and Glyph knows he just needs to get it off. It is another Red Bull clutch, and in Mate's favor, they have continued with 8 rounds in a row. And a 10-10 scoreline. I don't even think the co-streamers in the booth next door saw coming.
That round was so well played. No wasted thought. No spare momentum.
You went the chance! You went the chance, seriously?
Oh! Get on your feet, my man. 10-10. 8 rounds in a row. And winning it out like that as well. Pushing and pulling in the 1v2. The Puppet Master. Somehow Mates are here. A chance to take the lead. Hell, to take this series. And look at what GX are fighting off against. If this win streak continues, just 3 more and it's a 2-0, and GX fight to defend their lead with pistols. And they've used 4 of their ultimates. Hell, Seeker's almost back online. This as a series needs to be studied. I'm sure it will be.
Well, if GX let it slip, the Pipson's going to be studying it. There's no doubt about that. That's a nice start for Flickless, though. He's still been stellar.
Big risk against the eco from Mates as well.
Yeah, the thing is with Waylay, that's kind of what you're almost stuck with. Yeah. You need to be diving in. I think he would just hope that he would have got out of there for it. Even still, though, what has been a...
What?
The Outlaws on low buy rounds have just been disgusting. It was like Mini saw Martine doing it and then was like, okay, it's my turn now. And well, what started like a hopeful round is now just fallen into a lurking Viper double.
A lurking Viper running through a Viper's wall with an Outlaw into sight for contact, but yeah, everyone's already dead.
Why
so
didn't you see that one coming?
Spam straight through it to take the second guy after he saw one in the open. Didn't even see backside to line it up and just guessed. That'd probably peek around now, wouldn't he? What an absolute lunatic. If I lost a round like that in ranked, I think I'd close my PC down. I think I have in the past. Mini, at this stage, because the round in isolation is kind of ridiculous. Like, it's an eco from GX in the first place. They get the opening. You know, they have a little bit of hope to at least have a back and forth, to at least do some damage and get themselves into a fight, you know? Feel like their teeth are getting back into the meat and potatoes of the game. And for it to be after 8 rounds in a row, a guy just goes, oh, you have a bit of hope? Let me deal with that real quick.
That's happened a few
feel so
times,
dejected.
Though. I think the upsetting thing for them is there's not, like, for example, if I said how many times has a player, or if I had a nickel for every time somebody on Mates has walked into an eco round site with an Outlaw and won it for the team, I would have a couple, but it's a couple more than I expected to see in this game. Like, we saw Martine do exactly the same thing.
We did see Sight to line it up, at least.
But it's got to be infuriating, because you've got to feel as a player like you're not really doing too much wrong, but you're just being caught by these incredible plays from the other side. The Vipers both sitting atop the board. Mini now extending his lead above, but 11-10 from 10-2 down. They now have the lead, and it's all-out aggression. I like the idea. GX at this point, it's got to go back to basics. They've still got to defend, though. There's other players to deal with, and nothing is working out for GX. Now it's Starzo's turn. Yep, we know where they died. We know, we saw. We know what happened. Oh, the knife. Oh, yeah, I think he just got that one online. That's going to let him know where one of them is. The flank coming from Rubinho will be here in about 2.5 weeks. They're going to swing. Starzo is now looking for his own ace. I don't know if they'll be as friendly about it this time because the round far more valuable, but maybe we'll give an opportunity in the corner behind the smoke. They are Rubinho. This is a round that almost should have been their opponents. I think a snake bite is waiting for the spam coming through. Starzo looking for his ace, but he's taking a lot of damage. Can't risk the round for solo glory, but Starzo's going to try and do it anyway. The step's a bit hurt. And there is the ace in the end! Leading by example. He might not be a new man on the block as he's been in EMEA for a long, long time, but he's back with a different jersey, a different squad, and a completely different mentality.
Double digits, man. We talked about it on the last map. It was hard for mates to get there. They couldn't push up to 10. When they did, they closed the game out. Well, they just went to 10 in a row against GX. As Cliff said, they went to champs. This is a squad that comes in with expectations from everybody.
And no excuses either. There's no like, oh, we've got a new player, we're playing with a standard. There's nothing. This is a squad that people looked at and went, okay, you've got to have that good start to the year.
I'll give an excuse to Ara if he comes out in a post-game interview and says, I just had the unluckiest game of my life. I'll be like, yeah, you did, bro. I saw it happen. Unlucky. But sadly, that excuse ain't going to put any wins on the board. Nice shot from Westside.
They finally shut down the Outlaw.
Is it the first defensive side opening duel they've had that didn't immediately get shut down, like traded back?
Well, the last one wasn't immediate, but Starzo did kill
like 10
the
seconds
entire...
later. Then he just won the round.
Seeker's going to give them almost everything they needed. 4 players making their way through long. Arrow, oh, he's not going to win the fight. Desperately needed to take that one home. And now Biffo's going to go over the top. The slow has connected. It makes it impossible. No escape for Cloud. Wonderful utility work. And from a man advantage to a 2-man disadvantage, they were 10-2 in the lead. And now mates have the chance, after choking leads left, right, and center, to pull off an 11-round streak. Flickless will clear Mini. An opportunity maybe, but that opportunity fading. Flickless started this game off magnificently. And he has a chance to keep them in it. But both players just sitting back. Starzo gonna go looking, checking, and will just wipe him out. It is a different look for mates in 2026. And while no surprise, Mini is definitely happy to be there for it.
The team that last year we knew them as the squad that couldn't close the series. Hell, a map was hard enough. And look at them now. After so many losses in a row, this organization, it tastes victory. Mini with a smile on his face down there. Not just once, but twice now. Mates aren't here to play. They are here to win. And they start with a victory over GX, a team that surprised everybody last year by not only making it to champs, but making runs throughout the year as well. There's some new kids on the block down there, and mates, they deserve every ounce of credit they got coming into this season.
I imagine Brook, Squeezy, and Bayaz have just got to think like, you know what, we deserve this. After everything they had to go through last year, 12 being the curse for their team, something they literally spoke about in their last game, and instead now, well, 11 might be their lucky number. 11 in a row to close out this game. A team that looks built on confidence. And I think that for GX, they're going to watch that one back and have many things that they'll go, okay, well, we should have done more there. We should have been able to do more here. But that was just such an impressive showing of pure mental resilience.